students, today we will have a part 2 digital document. Okay, so session 11, that is aligning the text. So in MS Word, while adding text in our document, we will find that each line of the text appears uniformly at an equal distance from the left margin of the page by default. Such a uniform setting of the text with respect to the page margins is called alignment. Okay, so we will have four types of text alignment. One is left alignment, then right, then center, and then justified alignment. Here is the alignment group, and all the alignments are here. Okay, so left alignment aligns the selected text with respect to the left margins. This is the default alignment. Okay, next one is right alignment. It aligns the selected text with respect to the right margins. Then center alignment, which aligns the selected text between left and right margins. And last of all, justified alignment. It aligns the selected text with respect to both left and right margins. Okay, so to adjust alignment of the text in a document, at first we need to select the text which we want to align the document. Okay, so at first we are selecting the text. After that, just click the desired text alignment button. Okay, in the paragraph group of the home tab, already we have discussed. Then the selected text alignment is applied to the text. Okay, in this case we are just applying justify alignment. Okay, here all the alignments are there. Okay, next is session 12, views of a document. In MS Word 2010, there are various views with which we can work in different ways with the same document. Each document view displays a distinct picture of the document to enable us to focus on different aspects of an MS Word 2010 document at different times. Okay, so the views are available here: print layout view, full screen reading view, web layout view, outline view, and draft view. Here is the icon. Okay, so print layout view allows us to view how the document will look when we print the document. We can view and work with the text, pictures, headers and footers, page borders and page margins here. So it is the default view of the document, print layout view. Next one is full screen reading view. It allows us to focus primarily on the text, pictures and other contents of the document. Next one is web layout view. It allows us to view how the document will look as a web page. Okay, next one is outline view. It allows us to view an outline of the organization of text in the document. The document is divided into four various levels. For instance, heading 1 is level 1 and heading 2 is level 2. And last one is draft. So draft view allows us to focus only on the text in the document. Okay, so this view facilitates easy and quick writing and editing of the text. Okay, got it? Next, we learn about how to print a document in session 13. So here is the window. So printing is one of the most important features of MS Word application. Okay, so to perform the printing operation, we have to first preview the document. Is it right or wrong? Previewing of the document is done so that if there is any inconsistency in the presentation of the document, it is corrected before it goes for print. Okay, So we can print a document by clicking the File tab first and then selecting the print option in the backstage view. Okay, the print related options appear in the backstage view. Okay, now specify the printer and number of copies we want to print, and finally click the print button. Okay, just select all the settings and finally click the print. Okay, print button in the backstage view as shown in this figure. Okay, next one is creating a table. Already we know that a table is a collection of cells created by the intersection of corresponding rows and columns. Okay, here are the rows, all the rows are, and all the columns are here. Okay, so a table can be used for variety of tasks, from presenting numerical data to creating unique layouts. Okay, so to add tables in our document, we first need to click the table button. Okay, in the tables group of the insert tab, then select the insert tab option from the drop down list. Here is the insert table dialog box. Now specify the number of columns you want, number of rows you want. Okay, and then click OK here in the insert table dialog box as shown here. Okay, so by using this method you can create a table. Okay, so a table with specified number of rows and columns is inserted in the document as shown in this figure. So after creating a table, we can also move from one cell to another by using the mouse or keyboard. So it is required to enter data in a cell or to manipulate the cell data. So now we are having the keys which help us to move in a table. Number one is tab. You press the tab key to move one cell to the right cell. Next one is shift plus tab. Press the shift plus tab to move one cell to left. Next one is up arrow. Press the up arrow button to move up by one arrow. Next one is down arrow. Press down arrow button to move down by one arrow. Then left arrow to move one cell to the left in the table, and right arrow to move one cell to right in the table. Okay. Next one is to add a row and column in a table. So MS Word allows us to add more rows and columns in a table. To insert columns to an existing table, just we need to select the column where we want to insert a new column. Okay. Now click the insert left button in the row and columns group of the layout tab to insert the column on the left hand side of the selected column. Here it is the selected column. So under the layout tab, so here is the layout tab, and under the rows and columns group, just click the insert left. Here is the insert left button. Okay, so the new column will be inserted on the left hand side of the selected column as shown in this figure here. Okay, similarly if you want to insert a column on the right side or right hand side of the selected column, then click the insert right button in the rows and columns group of the layout tab. Okay, to insert row to an existing table, we need to select the row above or below which we want to insert a row. Okay, so now at first click insert above button in the rows and columns group of the layout tab. Okay, insert above. The new row inserted above the selected column as shown here in this figure. Similarly, if you want to insert a row below the selected row, then click the insert below button under the rows and columns group of the layout tab. So select as per your requirement. Okay, select the position. Next one is deleting a row and column in a table. So as we have already added rows and columns in a table, we can see, so we can delete a row and column in a table also. So to delete, just click the delete button here under the layout tab, and under the rows and columns group. Okay, now click the delete rows. If you want to delete the rows, choose the delete rows option from the drop down list as shown in this figure. So the selected row gets deleted after the action. Okay, so if you want to delete the cells, you can choose this. If you want to delete this table, entire table, you can select this, and if you want to delete column, you can select this option. Okay, so if you want to delete column, then just click the delete columns option from the drop down list under the layout tab in the rows and columns group. Then the selected columns gets deleted. Okay, next one is formatting a table. Okay, so at first we have to know that what is formatting. Formatting refers to the appearance and arrangement of the text in the document. Okay, so we can change the appearance of a table by changing the border and color of the cells. Okay, so to format a table in the document, we need to first select the table, then select the desired format of the table in the table style. Okay, here is the table style group, and you can choose any table style here. Okay, as shown in this figure. Now I am selecting this table style for this table here. Now the selected format applies to the table as shown here. Okay, next one is converting text to table and table to text. Okay, so using convert text into table feature, you can convert text into a table to organize it in the form of rows and columns to analyze it effectively. We can also convert text into table by first selecting the text that we want to convert into a table and then clicking the table button under the tables group of the insert tab. Now select the convert text to table option from the drop down list, and now select one separate character option under the separate text at section, and then click OK button in convert table to text dialog box as shown in this figure. Okay, so a table gets created with specified rows and columns here in the document. To convert the table to text, now we need to first select the table, okay, in the document, and then click the convert to text button in the data group of the layout tab. Okay, here. So then we will have convert table to text dialog box. So now select the other radio button and then press the spacebar key in the text box adjacent to the other radio button, and then click the OK button in the convert table to text dialog box as shown in this figure. Then the table gets converted into text separated by space as shown here. Okay. Now session 17, adding borders to pages and paragraphs. So by default there are no pages, paragraphs or text borders in a blank MS Word 2010 document. However, we can add borders to the paragraphs as well as to pages in a document. So we can add a border to a single page, more than one page, or all pages in the document. We can add different types of borders to the pages. For instance, the border can be a solid line or a broken line. Okay, so in MS Word 2010, we can select the type, style, width, and color of the page border. Okay, so we can add a border to a page by just using the border and shading dialog box. It is the border and shading dialog box. So we can access this dialog box by clicking the page borders button in the page background group of the page layout tab. Okay, so in this dialog box we need to select the desired border from the setting section. Okay, select the desired line style. Okay, here are the style, here is the color, here is the width. Okay, and here is the art. Then click the OK button as shown in this figure. Okay, so applying this, now look at the document. The page border gets added into the document. Okay, so we can also add borders to a paragraph to make a document attractive and eye-catching. To add border to a paragraph, we need to first select the paragraph on which you add the border, then click the page border button in the page background group of the page layout tab. Okay, then select the desired border from the setting section, then select the desired line style, border style, and width, and click the OK button in the border and shading dialog box. Okay, now we learn how to apply shading to the paragraphs, border and shading dialog box. So in an MS Word 2010 document, we can apply solid colors as the shade to a paragraph. Okay, so there are numerous predefined solid colors that we can choose to apply to paragraphs of a document. To add a shade to the paragraph, we need to first select the paragraph and then click the page borders button in the page background group of the page layout tab, and then select the shading tab. Here is the shading tab, 3 tabs available here: border, page border, and shading. Okay, so now in an MS Word 2010 document we are applying this. So to add a shade to the paragraph, we need to first select the paragraph and then click the page borders button in the page background group of the page layout tab, and now select the shading tab in the border and shading dialog box. Okay, now specify the desired color in the fill section. Here is the fill section. Just specify desired color here, the style of shading in the patterns section, and then click on the OK button in the border and shading dialog box. Okay, now the specified shading is applied to the selected paragraph as shown in this figure. As the chosen color was black, so the background here is for the selected paragraph is black. Okay, now the last session 19, previewing a document, adjusting its margin and orientation. So before printing the MS Word 2010 document, we need to first set the page margin. The page margins help in specifying the white area in the document. Okay, so in page margins we have to set top, bottom, left and right margin in a document. Okay, so after setting the page margins, we need to set the page orientation, which can be either portrait or landscape here. Okay, at last previewing of the document is done, so that if there is any inconsistency in the presentation of the document, it is corrected before it goes for print. Okay, got it? Okay, here is the print preview option. So the page margins refer to the blank white areas near the edges of a page. Okay. So every page has top, bottom, left and right margins. Okay. So the area surrounded by these four margins where we write, edit and format the text is known as the text area. Here is the text area. Okay. So therefore, if we increase or decrease the margins of a page, we get less or more space for writing text. So we can set the margins of a page by clicking the down arrow of the margin button under the page setup group of the page layout tab. Okay, and here is the margins button under the page layout tab and in the group page setup. Okay, then selecting the appropriate margins. Here all the margins types of margins available. So select the appropriate margin from the drop down list as shown in this figure. Okay, so the margins of all the pages of the document change accordingly if we apply a particular margin. Okay, so if we want to set the page margins according to our requirement, then select the custom margin option from the list of the margin types. Okay, here is the custom margins. Okay, next one is orientation. So in MS Word we will have two types of orientation. One is portrait, another one is landscape. Okay, so by default the pages of an MS Word 2010 document have the portrait orientation. Okay, so if you want to change the page orientation to landscape, you just need to click the down arrow of the orientation button. Okay, orientation button in the page setup group. Here is the okay under the page layout tab. Then select the landscape option from the drop down list as shown in this figure. Okay, so now if we apply it, then the pages of the document appears horizontally as shown in this figure. Okay, next one is previewing document. So previewing a document allows us to visualize the document in its printable format before actually executing the print command. Okay, to preview a document we need to first click the file tab. Okay, then select the print option and then the print related options are visible in the backstage view here. Okay, in the right pane the preview of the document is displayed. Now the align the text using the tabs. Okay, so what are tabs? Tabs are often used to align the text in the documents. Okay, so adding tabs and tab stops can make text alignment a lot easier, especially while creating things such as a table of contents. So a tab stop gets aligned basically somewhere on the ruler that will allow us to press the tab key and align the text with tab stop in the following ways. Number one is left tab stop that refers to the starting position of the text. Next one is center tab stop which refers to the middle position of the text. Next one is right tab stop which refers to the right end position of the text. Next one is decimal which refers to the center text over the decimal point for a list of numbers. And last of is bar which refers to the vertical line through a selected paragraph at the tab stop. Okay, to set tabs in a document, click the dialog box launcher of the paragraph group in the home tab and then click the tabs button in the paragraph dialog box. Okay, here is the. So now specify the tab stop position. Here is the tab stop position and then alignment you need and the readers. Okay, in the tabs dialog box, it is the tab dialog box. Okay, after that, first click the set button. Here is the set button, and then click on OK button in the tabs dialog box as shown in this figure. Okay, then the given figure displays the uses of tab in the document. Look at. Okay, so thank you. Watch this video carefully and do the practice on your computer.